women's rise with courage. They build industries, grow the economy, and drive the power of progress. In growing cities and expanding towns, smart planning and urban management shape a better life for all. When women become self-reliant, families grow stronger. Women lifts the nation higher. This is the Bangladesh of our dreams, a nation that awakens hope within us all, a land where no one is left behind, where opportunity reaches every home, where dreams walk on every road and hope flows through every river. This is not just a dream. This is a promise. This is a pact. We are fully prepared to build the Bangladesh of our dreams, a Bangladesh envisioned by Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, now we are going to start the main session of this event today. Now this is time to opening address. Today we are honored to have with us a leader whose lifelong commitment to ethical politics, public service and national reform continues to inspire millions. It's now my privilege to invite the Amir of Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami to deliver the opening address of Policy Summit 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Shafiqur Rahman, Amir of Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami, with a big round of applause.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah and good morning to all. Also a happy new year. Distinguished members of the diplomatic community, political leaders, industry leaders, business leaders, esteemed academics, civil society leaders, journalists, my colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for joining us today at this important moment in Bangladesh's national journey. As you all know, Bangladesh approaches another national election on February 12th. We are here today to have the privilege to present the policy and vision of a new, prosperous Bangladesh we aspire to. Let me start by thanking you all for gracing us with your presence here today. It gives me great pleasure to have the honor of addressing all of you. It's a real privilege for me. We are here today to talk about the future of this blessed lands, our beloved Bangladesh. It is a country that has a people that have been stated again and again, tested again and again throughout our journey in last history. And we have never been found to be wanting. We are the country of hope above despair, democracy over tyranny, and partnership over isolation. As the whole world is aware, in the year 2024, during what has been termed the Monsoon Revolution, the citizens of Bangladesh, led by our young people, declared the end of the autocratic rule of former regime, and once again we freed ourselves. We had faced 15 years of authoritarian rule of the previous regime, under which we saw the most horrific horrific torture of opponents, repression of political freedoms, mismanagement of the economy on a mass criminal scale, and the systemic dismantling of the democratic institutions. My party, Jamaat-e-Islami, alongside so many others, paid a heavy price for opposing autocracy and tyranny, with our leaders murdered and our voices suppressed for speaking out in favor of democracy and freedom of speech. In August 2024, the people of Bangladesh said, enough is enough. With our brave students and young people leading the fight for freedom once again. Too many of our young people suffered at the hands of a regime that was determined to extinguish our democratic hopes, with approximately 2,000 people been killed and over 24,000 been critically injured and become crippled. But as is always the eventual outcome, the light of freedom and democracy overcame the darkness of oppression. The people of Bangladesh once again prevailed. We are so very proud of our current interim government because they are trying to lead the country in a just way. But we also now stand again at a crossroads where we still face significant challenges in rebuilding our beloved country as the beacon of democracy, prosperity, and security for all and in this region too. I want to address some of those challenges today and outline the vision of my party in terms of what we see as the bright future of a newborn Bangladesh. A Bangladesh reborn, a Bangladesh renewed, a new Bangladesh. You will have seen the words aspiring Bangladesh here all around you. We want Bangladesh to aspire to be a modern market economy that also believes in social justice and where no citizen is left behind. We want a country that aspires to putting national sovereignty first and also is a responsible and active regional and global partner. We want a nation that aspires to putting technology and innovation at the heart of unstoppable economic prosperity and also believes in an interconnected world where values and principles still matter. We want to rebuild a new Bangladesh that stands on the pillars of pluralist democratic values on which our country was founded. My party believes that only through democracy and free, fair, and transparent elections can we move forward as a prosperous country. But what we need now more than ever before is a vision for the country which is backed by tangible, concrete actions which transforms our Bangladesh and delivers for our people, for our citizens. Over the course of today, you will be hearing from some of the best and brightest minds in our country about the policy and delivery action framework of our party. Jamaat-e-Islami on how to transfer the country and to give Bangladesh back their country and the future Bangladeshis back their country and the future they deserve. What you will hear throughout today is a concrete and ambitious policy framework for effective and citizen-centric governance that embraces technology, innovation, and transformation. We are keen to see essential reforms and transformation take place as soon as possible to undo almost 2 decades of damage to our democratic and economic institutions. It is therefore essential that the upcoming election on 12th of February are the most free, fair and transparent that the country has ever seen and which have been denied to the people of Bangladesh for almost 20 years. Let me also make clear that our party will be voting and campaigning for yes in the concurrent referendum. Yes to reform, yes to July Charter, yes to a new and renewed prosperous Bangladesh. But elections are only the beginning. What we require now is a new national political consensus on what a new Bangladesh will look like and to guarantee democratic freedoms and the rule of law for every citizen of the country. Our pledge to the country is that we will work that any political party that commits to 3 basic fundamentals: rooting out corruption, promoting social justice, and driving forward essential reforms to build a governance system that the people of Bangladesh can be proud of and the relentlessly delivers for them. For us, governance means service to the people. If we are given the opportunity, we will govern as the servants of the people and we will always honor this sacred trust. As mainstream Muslim Democrats, we have participated in every free and fair, credible elections throughout the decades, whether that is at a national level or local government level. And we look forward to continuing to do so. In building a new Bangladesh, the role of women is absolutely vital. As you will be aware, women are already completely integrated in Bangladesh's economy and estimated 37% are in the formal workforce. I am proud that this is one of the highest rates in South Asia, and my party is determined to help grow this number further and faster than ever before. But in order to do this, we have to also ensure that Bangladeshi girls and young women have equal access to the education from primary to university level. I am proud that women make up 43% of my party's membership. My party is fully committed to creating opportunities across our country so no girl is left behind and that they are able to fulfill their full potential as equal citizens in New Bangladesh. We'll stand shoulder to shoulder with anyone who believes in the equal opportunity for all. We also want to work closely with our international partners in rebuilding Bangladesh as a thriving and prosperous modern market economy. Bangladesh is one of the fastest growing economies in the world and is one of the youngest populations globally. The opportunities for trade and mutual growth are endless. Our young people will remain our engine for growth and prosperity with our youth employment as a key strand of our governance framework. My party believes that through trade and participation in the global economy can Bangladesh achieve its true potential as an economic leader in our region. In that, our partners across the world can help by showing confidence in the new Bangladesh that we are building by investing and by partnership with us in creating employment opportunities for our young people. This in turn also brings mutual economic benefits to foreign investors. With guarantees of a transparent and open economy in new Bangladesh. My party is determined to build a modern welfare system driven by the engine of the growth. We are drawing inspiration for this from many parts of the world and which we can learn from. We will promote agricultural development and food security, driving projects that empower farmers, increases productivity, and establish food security. In industrial growth, we will promote policies that revitalize local and global industries, create jobs, and promoted economic growth whilst integrating into the global economy. We will champion initiatives for small and medium-sized businesses, opening doors for local entrepreneurs and bolstering Bangladesh's industrial base with opportunities set for FDI. We have already made clear that we will stand strongly behind any efforts to ensure that no future government in Bangladesh will be able to subvert the economic system and state resources for their own. Prosperity can only be built on internationally recognized norms of transparency. But a prosperous, modern and new Bangladesh can only exist where all citizens, regardless of their faith, gender, creed or race, are treated as equals. My party is proud that we stand as defenders of every Bangladeshi citizen and their rights. It is not only our responsibility to protect the rights of the minorities, but actually an obligation and sacred duty, whether they be Hindus, Buddhists, Christians, or any faith. I am so very proud that my party has over 500,000 members from other faith groups who stand together to make a country stronger. In all of this, we want the new Bangladesh to be a strong, reliable and trustworthy partner in our region and globally. Finally, I shall finish where I started, which is with a message of hope from our new Bangladesh. As you will see from our policy action plans for governance, our politics is not of division but of hope, healing and unity. Hope for a better future, hope for a country that lights the way of others, hope for a country where everyone is equal. That is what my partners promise today. And every day, please join us in making that promise a reality. I am especially giving thanks to those intellectuals and resource persons who are going to make this summit fruitful. And again, thanking you all who has attended and honored our invitation here. We are really grateful to you. Please, we unite together locally, regionally, and globally for a prosperous Bangladesh and to move forward. Thank you all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Thank you very much, Honorable Amir Jamaat of Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami, for your thoughtful and inspiring opening address. Your reflections on ethical leadership, national responsibility, and principled governance have provided meaningful direction for our discussions today. Your words remind us that sustainable policy reform must be grounded in justice, integrity, and service to the people. On behalf of the organizers of the Policy Summit 2026, we sincerely appreciate your time, presence, and valuable guidance. We are truly honored by your participation. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me once again in giving the Honorable Amir Jamaat a warm round of applause again.
Now we are going to go into the policy presentation segment. Our first session is on strategy for Bangladesh governance framework, a topic which is central to democracy, accountability, transparency, and citizens' participation. This session will explore our proposed institutional reforms, decentralization, and strengthening local governance structures. The panelists for this session are Dr. Syed Abdullah Muhammad Tahir, panel member, Nayeeb-e Amir of Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami, former MP, Kumilla 11. Next we have Dewan A.H. Alamgir, who's the keynote speaker, development program and policy expert with 35 years of experience. We then have Shariful Alam Zinnah joining as a panel member, former Secretary, Government of Bangladesh, Professor, Department of Political Science, Dhaka International University. Then we have Shah Alam Bakshi, panel member, former Secretary, Ministry of Administration, MP candidate, Ghazipur 1. Lastly, as the fifth, we are going to have Engineer Niyama Islam, panel member, electrical consultant, private firm, Joint Secretary, Shommilito Nari Proyash. I kindly invite the honorable presenter and respected panel members to take their seats on the stage. A big round of applause to welcome them on stage, please. I would like to remind the audience to kindly take notes as the main presentation goes on. You can either hand over the questions to the volunteers to be read out by the volunteers or moderator, and if you so wish, you can ask them directly to the presenter and panel members during the panel discussion. Are we all seated? Let us now begin the session with the keynote speech by Dewan A.H. Alamgir. Thank you. I would like to request Mr. Dewan A.H. Alamgir.
কিভাবে শুরু করবে আমি কি ওখানে দেখে বলবো শুধু স্লাইড ওখানে দেখবো প্রেজেন্টেশনের জন্য স্লাইড চেঞ্জের জন্য আমার জন্য এখানে দেখবো আমি আর এটা হচ্ছে নেক্সট ওয়ান কি জন্য সবার জন্য শোনার জন্য সাউন্ডটা এটা লাগবে হাত লাগবে
Dear audience, we again humbly remind you to take notes of the questions that you want to ask the panel along with the presenter. Now we would like to commence the policy presentation session, welcoming Mr. Dewan A.H. Alamgir to commence his main presentation, please. Thank you.
ওখানে স্লাইড আসবে না Distinguished guests and distinguished panelists, Assalamu alaikum and good morning. I am Dewan Alamgir. I will be presenting on the governance framework for Bangladesh. Before I go there, let me introduce myself slightly differently. I will be first-time voter, although I am almost 65 years old. I will be voting this time along with millions of other young people who will be voting in coming election. Secondly, I am a really concerned citizen. We are at the crossroad, as Mr. Amir has mentioned. We have a choice to make. One is the choice for democracy, prosperity and justice, or going back to business as usual. For Bangladesh, let me just mention, after during independence or following independence of Bangladesh, we expected a nation of democratic system, justice and prosperity, but did not happen. And what we saw before, what we saw after, a very, very different economic system where some people took control of the economy and basically plundered our banking system and others. And you will see even today's newspaper shows that the poor state of banking system in Bangladesh. On the political system, we suffered from one-party rule. We have seen military rules. We have seen sham, and of that came the 2024 revolution of millions, and that we have seen authoritarian rule. We have seen corruption and crony capitalism, and combined that too, we see control of, the concentration of power in political area, economic space. And we like to change that. Through this presentation as well as the next election, we like to see change in that. However, although this is very pessimistic, Bangladesh and we Bangladeshis are hopeful people. Our farmers feeding a population of 180 million people. We see our garments workers, millions of women, our micro-entrepreneurs, SMEs and businesses actually keeping us afloat. Our remittance, poor people, skilled, many of them are unskilled, working outside Bangladesh, send us remittance. Although we'll see a presentation this afternoon where we'll show you that how we can really train our people and send them abroad, at the same time create jobs for them within the country. Combine all them, we like to really continue. We got to build what we have already made progress. Now, what is the vision? Just simple way, vision for Bangladesh, as Mr. Amir also mentioned, I will be paraphrasing him. We want democracy, we want economic prosperity, we want justice and unity. A united country where every person, every citizen has the opportunity to really reach highest of his or her capability. So if we do the program we have developed, almost all sectors policy papers we have developed, if you can implement that, and we plan to implement that, we'll create these four things. One is permanent democratic system. We like to see the outcome. We want prosperity for all, not for few. From the poor all over the country to the anyone, everyone, we should have a basic shared prosperity. We should not have illegal, ill-gotten wealth captured by few people. We would like to see extreme poverty eradicated as soon as possible. We have a program for that, and ultimately a just society. So, what will be the governing principle for this party? One is, of course, economic justice, a pro-Bangladesh policy. We like to see our interests protected, whatever the sector is. An effective government, not a large wasteful government, but an effective one. We like tools issue really has become very, very critical for this nation. We feel insecure within the country, and corruption is at the highest, and the worst situation is that. So, citizen security will come as the core of all governing principle, anti-corruption measures, at the same time equal opportunity for all. Whatever the competence and the capability of a person should have that opportunity to capture the opportunity in the economy and in the society. So what are we proposing? What is the framework or the thought process for us? We are simply proposing three elements that will lead us to the outcome we are proposing. One is the fundamental one is the good governance, as I mentioned. Second point is inclusive growth through investment by the government and the private sector. The private sector will invest in business, and government will be investing in all other things, especially in people, education, health, infrastructure and others. will provide the basis for investment for the private sector. And of course, as you know, almost 30% of Bangladesh population lives in extreme poverty. We like to have a very strong social safety net for them so that we can eradicate poverty within as soon as possible. Although we will not be discussing this issue in details today, but we have a detailed program to eradicate extreme poverty. We will be happy to share with you sometime in the future. So my presentation will be focusing on the good governance. The following presentation by Professor Warisul Kurim will discuss on the growth, economic issue. Let me just focus on the governance part. We see governance as 4 elements. As far as we are concerned, there may be other frameworks, but for us, we are talking about 4 elements. One is good political governance. Political governance. Second one is good economic governance. We want macroeconomic stability. As you know, we are in a real crisis. Then we are proposing a strong local government system and shared urbanization, planned urbanization throughout the country. A country of 180 million people cannot be governed from one city, and it should be the political power and development should be spread throughout the country. So let me just briefly mention few elements of political governance. First of all, a democratic governance. For the first, this should be the last time that people has to come out in the street to democracy. So what we are saying, a democratic system must be a permanent one, where free and fair election should be the only way of transfer of power. That's one. And we like to see it done permanently. And we like to see consensus on this issue. And in practice, we like to see that all political parties follow this. Second one is the reduction of concentration of power. As you know, as Mr. Amir said, this party will be voting yes for July Declaration and the Sanad. That means those proposals that brings balance between power of Prime Minister, President, as well as all the term limits and other good suggestions that have been given and agreed upon, the party will support that. So that we like to bring a real balance of power. It should not be the dictatorship of the Prime Minister in the country anymore. Third culture, actually, is the political culture. We are saying our dispute, dialogue, competition, every issue should be solved through dialogue in the parliament, outside parliament. So that should be the one. Fourth, as I said, I will also discussing strong decentralization. A country of 180 million people cannot be ruled from just one city. Dhaka as a city, I think Dhaka, Chittagong, almost unlivable. Then the issue of economic governance. I like to emphasize on the first issue. We like to see a rule-based system. If you want to start a business, you don't have to have connection with a minister or MP or anybody. You know the rules, you know the system, you start your business and go ahead with it. So that kind of a rule-based system, we like to really make it the way of life, economic life in Bangladesh. There will be strong corruption. So our emphasis will not be on administrative action, rather bring structural changes so that there is a less opportunity to be corrupt. Financial sector reform, Professor Warisul Kurim also speak about it. So it's very important that we have to really fix our financial system. Non-performing asset is very high, and this sector has been used as a conduit to siphon out money out of the country. Then capital market also we need reform, because over the decades we have seen at least twice stock market has been used as the conduit for plundering. So that has to stop. On the state-owned enterprises, we like to have reform, but the next immediate step would be to make them profitable. Almost all state-owned enterprises are losing concern, very bigly losing concern, and we like to see more and more digital transaction, digital changes, and eventually we like to see in few years that Bangladesh become a noteless country, no paper note. It should be more and more digital transaction of financial sector. That I think will act as a deterrent for corruption. On the stability, although Professor Wasil Karim also will discuss about it, but these are the key things we need immediate action. Of course, we have to control inflation. Inflation is too high for the poor people in general. We like to really go for military policy, appropriate one, at the same time more and more investment. And also one of the reasons of high cost of commodities is extortion from the villages to the towns. That has to stop, so that it will have an effect on inflation as well. Improve, of course, we have to collect more taxes, but instead of really raising rate, Professor Wasil Karim will propose a different way of thinking revenue collection. We have to increase remittance also. As you know, most of Bangladeshis who work outside Bangladesh, especially Middle East and other areas, these are mostly unskilled people. We like to really develop an skilled workforce for Bangladesh inside as well as for international job market. And we have a detailed plan for that, and there will be a presentation on how we develop skilled workforce for this country to improve create jobs, at the same time improve productivity of our enterprises, at the same time export, let the world have our skilled people. And as you know, diversifying export is very important. We have to really earn export dollars, reduce our wasteful public finances, and bring more and more transparency to especially big public investment. There should be really scrutiny of making big projects. It should not be depend on the whims of one person or just for visibility. We really need to have a transparent process of selecting public investment. And the final one, the fourth pillar, as I said, we need to have decentralized urbanization. Dhaka, Chittagong has grown so-called organically, almost unlivable. So what we are saying is a country of 64 districts. So we should have planned 64 cities, and each Upazila should have one or more than planned urban centers. That means Bangladesh should not be a country of 2 cities. It should be 64 cities planned and 500 plus smaller towns integrated with each other. So that we can create jobs in the small towns. We should have health, education everywhere, so that we don't have to come to Dhaka for all the services, whatever the area is. For that to happen, I think we need a strong local government also. Our local government system is really weak. We all have 3 tier of Jila Parishad, Upazila and Union Parishad, but still we don't have real consensus on how to strengthen local government. I think it needs consensus of the political parties, because without that, we like to system where local government system does not change with change of government, change of party. It should have a permanent setup, permanent system, so that concentration of power and development should go throughout the country. So when we have a small district or a small town, we like to see hub of 4 things. One is, of course, housing, living, there will be people. We like to see jobs and economic growth in each area, with industrial zones in each district, each Upazila. We should have education and skill. Without education, service people will not want to live in small towns. And health services. Because for health service, even a poor person has to come from all the way from remote area to Dhaka to get a basic surgery. Or as you know, millions of people go outside Bangladesh to get health service. This has to stop. This is a big commitment from our part, that we should have towns and cities and towns throughout the country where we have basic 4 services: employment, job opportunities, education and health services, so that we don't need to have rural to urban migration in Bangladesh. So let me just finish this saying, we equate good governance with national transformation. That's our fundamental promise, and that's our fundamental way of thinking development of Bangladesh for the future. Thank you very much for your attention. Okay, thank you. We are available for any question and answer. Our panelists are available. I will be available also for any question or any clarification you may need. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that insightful presentation. As our audience works on their questions for the panel members, we would like to welcome the panel members to provide their brief perspectives, remarks, or comments. Meanwhile, if any audience has any question, please raise your hands and you will be approached by the volunteers. You can hand over your written questions or read them out loud on your own in the mic for the panel. Can we now move on to the panel discussion for the comments as we collect questions from the audience? Thank you.
আপনি কমেন্ট করতে বলছে কিছু বলবেন লোকাল গভর্নমেন্টের উপরে 1 or 2 minutes জাস্ট ইন্ট্রোডাক্টরি আপনি নিজেকে ইন্ট্রোডিউস করে নেন তাহলে হবে
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Distinguished guests, before I touch upon the local government briefly, let me introduce myself first. I'm Dr. Shariful Alam. I did my master's from Chittagong University and Wageningen Agriculture University, Netherlands. And then I did my PhD from Asian Institute of Technology. And now I am teaching at Dhaka International University, as you have heard. So it's my privilege and honor to present before you behind these local government institutions. As you know, that the local government is the breeding ground for political training the people and preparing the people for the national politics or the national parliament. And the second thing is that it is the mainstay of service delivery for the local people. And these are being done now, though there are some interruptions. And the third thing, that is the theory says that the subsidiarity theory, you know that subsidiarity theory is the concept that matters should be dealt in by the lowest tier of the administrative system, or those who are at the grassroots, they must be handled, or their service should be provided by the local setup, not by the central. Central can handle only those things that are not possible by the local level to solve. So the way Dr. Alamgir has, Dewan Ali Haidar Alamgir has presented that the Jamaat-e-Islami, Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami will establish such local government system that should be fully financially empowered, and the administrative authority should be devolved in such a way so that the central control is as minimum. Only when central government will intervene when the local government cannot solve this problem. And it will be not only the responsibility, now the local government system is functioning in such a way, so many responsibilities are there, but they are held also accountable, but the financial authorities are not fully transferred to them. So financial autonomy is not there, and there are lack of financial opportunities as well. So few areas of financing are there, but not they are fully financially solvent or capable of serving the people as the people are expecting from it. So the local government will be the main hub of the development as Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami envisions. So I think in the future, if Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami is given the responsibility of taking care of the services and the affairs of the people, it will try its best to devolve the system to the lower level, Union Parishad, Upajala level, Upajala Parishad and Jala Parishad as the political consensus permits. Say for example, first Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami will try its best to come to a consensus what will be the setup and system and structure of local government. And then it will start some pilot reforms program and try to gradually develop the system, and then it will start developing the capacities of the local people so that they can become their own master. They can become the master of their own affairs. So in that way, Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami will try to scale up the system nationally. So with this, I will welcome more questions. If you have, then we will respond. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I want to make just a few remarks on the discussion. The basic subject is the good governance. We all know that for good governance, we need good people. And the basic hindrance in our country is the corruption. So for good governance, we must have a society and the individuals free of corruption. The priority of Jamaat-e-Islami and our commitment is that we'll make a corruption-free society and corruption-free government. Number two, we need the efficient and skilled manpower for good governance, and we need the sincere people, patriotic people, honest people, and dedicated people. And Jamaat aims to build up a society which will produce such type of individuals and personalities. And again, for the good governance, we need the very good system which will ensure the equality and which will ensure the rights for all the society, the people of all walks of people, men and women, children and old, or all the professions. And the fourth, for the good governance and the good society, we need the elevation of the poverty in the society. And we have a long-term policy to eradicate poverty in the society, giving them employment, education, cooperation, and a moral-based, benevolent personalities. So if we can achieve this, we can have a good government, good society, good people, and a good country, inshallah. We aims for that. Thank you very much.
So, thank you so much for your remarks. Can we have the next panelist add their comments if they have any? If not, we can move on to the question and answer session.
Hi, my name is Najibur Rahman. I am a lawyer by profession. I did my PhD on commercial law from the UK, and currently I am an MP candidate for Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami. I think my takeaway from this is that decentralization is a must. We saw in the last 16 years how the ruling class centralized everything, consolidated the power to a family and to a group of people. Even we saw in rural level, in constituencies, MPs, although they are function as a legislator to make laws, but they acted as the head of the government in the local areas. So that needs to be reformed, and I think the way it has been presented, if we can decentralize the power and give the power to the people, that will elevate the poverty level. Also, that will reduce the corruption, because absolute power makes absolute corrupt. So the political leaders, they should have their own designated roles in terms of law, in terms of legislators, MPs. They shouldn't involved in local governance. And the local government should work, the allocation of funds that should go to the local government directly, not through the MPs. So I think that should be the goal, to decentralize the work and decentralize the power. Through that, we can reduce the corruption. We can actually empower the people. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. It's Shahalam Bukshi. Let me introduce myself first. I did my master's from Dhaka University in Applied Physics and Electronics. Then I joined administration cadre as magistrate. Then I was deputy commissioner in 2 districts. Then I retired as secretary. I was kept OSD for long 8 years, and I retired as OSD. I was economic minister in Saudi Arabia Embassy of Bangladesh. I have only one suggestion. It was a very good presentation and quite a lot suggestions given in my panel discussions. I think some change or some update or some change in curriculum should be made in the education sector from the very beginning of the education system, from the primary education system. If the curriculum is updated for the Islamic curricula, I think should be included in the education, and it should be made so that the students be grown with the Islamic education, Islamic etiquettes, etc. That's all. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning. I'm engineer Jamaat-e-Islam, an electrical consultant at private firm and joint secretary of Sammilito Nari Prayash. In my work, I focus on improving the quality of local development projects through accurate planning, technical transparency, and responsible service delivery. As an engineer, I believe good governance at the local level depends on reliable infrastructure, clear information, and honest decision making. Our role is to support these values by ensuring that every project is safe, efficient, and beneficial for the community. Thank you.
With that, we end the remark section of the panel discussion. Can we invite some questions from the audience? Yes, sir? Yes. Yep.
Hello, Mr. Dewan, presenter, thank you for a good presentation. I have questions. Why our local government could not be effective so far? You did not mention it. We have many local governments in the last 54 years after independence, but why they couldn't be effective? Though their they are run by elected local government representative. Second, how local representatives' accountability can be ensured? We know that we are suffering from poverty and unemployment. But local government cannot play a role in reducing poverty and generating employment. Moreover, they cannot generate resources, local resources. But there are scopes, opportunities to generate local resources. But local government became ineffective in this area. You know that our people's problem lies with their illiteracy.
Thank you.
And 60% of their income are spent on health. But local government cannot do anything. Why? Why there is deficiency? Your presentation did not point out this. Please.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the questions. Maybe there are some opinions as well. So thank you very much. Actually, your first question was related to the non-functionality of local government for the last 54 years, isn't it? So I think that you will share with me that local government has not been given due authority to function properly. Be it at the local level or at the central level. At the local level, they are facing the problem of resources and the trained manpower. And at the central level, there is an attitude that if the adequate resources are pumped to the local economy or the local government level, then corruption will be rampant. This false argument, on the basis of this false argument, the central level people are not inclined to give them the full authority. But it is true that corruption can be handled easily if the system is in place. So I think that it is the political mindset and the decision of the political masters that what will be the structure and the functions and the authority and the independence of the local authorities or the local government institutions. If it is politically decided and consensus is arrived, then I think the local government will be in a position to function properly and they will become capable of handling the affairs of the local people very effectively. Thank you very much.
The next question, please.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is AKM Saidat Hussain, but I'm from Algeria Embassy in Bangladesh. My question is, if you from the government, how would your fiscal policies, such as the changing in the tax rate, public spending, and help maintenance macroeconomic stability, and what the effect they have on the inflation, in unemployment, and the economic growth? Thank you.
Well, first of all, as you know, that the public finance at this stage is in a very difficult situation. So the way we like to do basically stop wasteful spending. This is one. Within this, make it transparent, make it demand driven. On the other side, as Professor Warsul Karim will describe, we have investment plan for the growth and other areas. But so that means we really have to balance it. One is what I would say, the wasteful spending part has to be curtailed, especially the big hemorrhages we have in the economy should be stopped. On the other hand, we really have to come up with the investment, especially in the business for private sector investment and for the government to invest in education, basic infrastructure, health and other services. So that's the balance we'd like to make. Thank you.
Thank you. May we now have the next question? We request the audience to make the question brief so that we can have the maximum time allocated to the presenter to present their view.
You have talked about governance.
Yes.
And one of the key elements of governance, good governance, is participation. Participation.
Participation.
By
Yes.
the citizens. So, how would you ensure the participation of women
Yes.
at the highest decision-making level?
Okay.
And this is my question. And another question is, are you committed to CEDAW and SGD?
Are you committed?
To CEDAW and SGD?
If you could spell out the full form for the audience.
These are my questions.
Okay. First one, I would like to mention that there will be full session on women development where we'll deal with the participation. So I will refer to that session. But the issue is, let me just summarize. More than 50% of Bangladesh population are women. We made improvement, of course, a lot. We lots to be done, especially in education. Now more girls are graduating from primary school, high school, SSC. And in undergraduate level, the proportion is becoming almost equal. So we made really big stride on that. But still there has to be a lot of things to be done. Second issue is the access to health services. That is a huge issue. We need to really improve access to health for all women, poor and area. Then the political participation is something we really have to improve further, really improve further, especially political participation in the local level as well as the national level. We need to really improve on that. I fully agree. And then of course, women, for them to participate, we really have to, I think it's a combination of many things. Education, at the same time opportunity and choice, and then finally give them the opportunity to participate in economic as well as the political space. So this is more of a general frame I am mentioning. There will be a detailed discussion on this in a specific, a full session on this issue.
Yeah,
Yes.
excuse me, I have a supplementary question here.
Please.
I mean, why hasn't Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islam nominated any women candidate?
Ma'am, I'm not sure I understood you properly.
No, my question is that Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islam has not given nomination to any women
Okay.
in the upcoming election.
I think this is for you. Nomination cannot deny. You answer, please.
Really, in principle, we don't have any problem and objection to nominate women in the direct election. You know, in the consensus committee, we passed some resolutions that if it is passed from next onward, every political party is bound to give 5%, at least 5% nomination for the women in a composition. Jamaat agreed on that. So, inshallah, gradually we will do it. Thank you very much.
We will take a
Ji,
few more
Assalamualaikum.
questions. Yes.
Hello. My question is that, and thanks, Mr. Alamgir for nice presentations and covering many things. Hello. My question is that we have seen that during the last previous government, Jamaat-e-Islami Minister of Industry, they focused on SME, small and medium enterprise in Bangladesh. We have seen that's the dream of that minister. But today I have observed that in this presentation, thanks the Amir Jamaat has covered in the SME in his brief talk, but in the macroeconomic policy, I think, what is this, your status, the focusing on SME entrepreneurship and particularly women entrepreneurship.
Okay.
That's the things we know that the last Jamaat minister started, but what is your policy to continue that? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think
Can we request the honorable audience to remain silent so that we can pay full attention to the points made by the speaker?
let me start from the point that we would like to have shared prosperity, in the sense that all people, there should not be poor people, and there should be concentration of wealth. At the same time, as I mentioned, we will have investment throughout the country. Now, as you know, if you analyze any industry, you will see only few large one, few smaller, I mean the SME, and millions of micro enterprises in Bangladesh, in agriculture and non-agriculture area. And that has been mainly because of growing economy, at the same time access to finance. So with the next government, and also I'd like to mention only 15% of all labor force work in formal businesses. 85% people work in informal sector. So our emphasis will be to support more and more micro enterprise, SMEs throughout the country, either in the agriculture sector or non-agriculture sector. For that, we have proposed that there should be planned urbanization opportunity in East Upazila. In support of that, of course, access to finance and other things will come. But issue is, we really have to, for the economy to turn quickly, we need to really emphasize on the micro enterprise and entrepreneurship, including women. As you know, Bangladesh, the land of microfinance, almost 95% of the borrowers are women. They are the one contributing in agriculture as well as other entrepreneurship. So we like to support that, and for that also you will mention in the skill development and entrepreneurship presentation, you will see we will prioritize women entrepreneurship in particular, and you will see throughout Bangladesh millions of women actually in business. So there will be more and more such initiative, at the same time help them to expand and gradually become larger and formal businesses. And we fully endorse that part. Especially for reduction of poverty, we must have much support for micro enterprises and SMEs throughout the country, irrespective of whether it is agriculture, industry or service sector. And we have detailed policy paper on that. And Dr. Ashikur Rahman will explain how we'll prioritize women in entrepreneurship, skill development as well as entrepreneurship. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. We are...
Hello. Assalamu alaikum. I am at the back of the room. Yeah. This is Professor Saifuddin Ahmed from Dhaka University. And I would like to thank the organizer to bring good governance and local government in their agenda of aspiring Bangladesh. So I would like to say something for your thought so that you can consider this in your aspiration. The main problem, one of the main problem of local government in Bangladesh is that it is an extended hand of central government.
Yes.
At Upazila level, it was a very good arrangement, but the 13 departments which were transferred to the Upazila level, but their boss sits in district or at central level. At this stage, the Upazila chairman, they don't have any opportunity to write SCR, which was previously annual confidential report. For example, the youth development officer of Upazila, he is accountable to the deputy director of youth development sitting in district. He is not accountable officially to the Upazila chairman. Even the UNO, he is accountable to the cabinet division, not to the Upazila chairman. So, to come out from this situation, we cannot make a complete accountable local government system. So that's why we call it an extended hand of central government. Another important local government entity is Paurushava, which is very much poor in terms of their fund. A small amount of ADB is given to Paurushava, but that is very inadequate. And in last 20 years, so many unions have been converted to Paurushavas without violating the law. So they become poor and poor.
Thank you.
So I would like to request the organizers to consider these issues while they will be in power to reform local government system. Thank you so much.
We are aware of it. Thank you very much, Professor. We are aware of these issues, and we aspire to have a more strong local government in the future. But as I said, we need consensus within the political system that we should have a permanent local government structure. Thank you, sir. But we are very much aware of these issues. Thank you.
I think we can accommodate a few more questions. Can we have the next question?
Thank you very much for the brilliant presentation by H. Haidar. I am very much impressed on your point that you are going to make the district towns as the hub of 4 opportunities, that is health, education, job opportunities, and good, healthy living opportunities. My question is to our political leader who is present here as a panelist, Dr. Syed Abdullah Mahmoud Tahir, that are you confident that it is possible in a shortest possible time to make available all these facilities in district towns, and how it is possible with our limited expertise? We see there are educational institutes, hospitals in the districts, but they are not quality. And that's why people are coming to the capital city for education and for treatment. So how you are going to materialize these 4 points in district hospitals? Please encourage us. Thank you.
Before Dr. Tahir answers, let me say that the structure we propose is not, it's an aspirational long-term development plan, gradual, of course, subject to availability of resources. At the same time, we have detailed plan on health sector as well as education, but it will of course need longer term, not 5 years, much longer term to develop urban centers in all over the country. Thank you. Dr. Tahir, please.
Thank you very much. This is one of the vital issues in the health sector to address in our country. The Jamaat aims to develop a full-fledged, high-qualified expertise, good hospitals in the district level, so that people do not need to come to the capital city in Dhaka. And it is possible because now you know that the GDP in our budget in the health sector is only 4%. If Jamaat comes to power, we will allocate minimum 6 to 8% of the total budget in the health sector. If it is so, then it will be possible to establish good hospitals with good equipments and the expertise in the district level. And also we can ensure the minimum health services in the rural areas also. And this is one of the major agenda Jamaat will address if we are in power, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We'll increase the budget in the health sector.
Assalamu alaikum. আমি মেজর রিটায়ার্ড মোহাম্মদ আখতারুজ্জামান। আমি অনেক ধন্যবাদ দিচ্ছি আপনাকে সুন্দর প্রেজেন্টেশনের জন্য। আমার 2টি প্রশ্ন। প্রথম, আমরা হলো অ্যান্টি কারাপশন নিয়ে আমরা অনেক কথা বলি, সবারই কথা অ্যান্টি কারাপশন, কিন্তু আমরা অ্যান্টি কারাপশনটা কিভাবে দূর করব সেটার ব্যাপারে আমরা রাজনৈতিক সিদ্ধান্ত নেই না, আমরা সেটা দুদকের উপরে ছেড়ে দেই। দুদক তার নিম্নস্থ সরকারি কর্মচারীদের চালায় যাদের সিনিয়ররাই করাপশনের প্রতি বেশি ইনভলভ, ফলে তারা করাপশনে কোনো রকম নিয়ন্ত্রণ আনতে পারে না। আমি জানতে চাইবো আজকের এই নতুন সরকার যদি আসে, আমাদের ক্ষমতায় আসে, আপনারা কি রাজনৈতিক একটি দুদক তৈরি করবেন কিনা যারা সরকারি কর্মচারীদের উপরে নিয়ন্ত্রণ রাখতে পারবে? কারণ এই যে সবাই রাজনীতিবিদকে টার্গেট করে, সকল এনজিও থেকে নিয়ে সবাইকে নিয়ে, যে তারা করাপ্ট করে, কিন্তু মেইন করাপশন গুলো কিন্তু হয় এক্সিকিউটিভ লেভেলে, যারা কাজগুলো দায়িত্ব পালন করে। সেটা করবেন কিনা এটা আমার বিনীত অনুরোধ। অ্যান্টি কারাপশন নিয়ে আমরা অনেক কথা বলছি, এটা চাই। দ্বিতীয় হলো, আমরা স্থানীয় সরকার নিয়ে কথা বলি, কিন্তু স্থানীয় সরকারে একমাত্র উপজেলা চেয়ারম্যান এবং ইউনিয়ন পরিষদ চেয়ারম্যান ছাড়া বাকি সব লোক কিন্তু সেন্ট্রাল গভর্নমেন্টের লোক। এমনকি ইউনিয়ন পরিষদের যে সেক্রেটারি, সে পর্যন্ত চেয়ারম্যানের কথা শুনে না, সে শুনে সেন্ট্রাল গভর্নমেন্টের কথা। আর বাজেটটা দেয় সেন্ট্রাল গভর্নমেন্ট। অনেকে বলে এমপিরা কেন যাবে, টাকাটা তো এমপিরা অ্যালট করে। বাজেট থেকে যখন টাকা অ্যালট করে তখন সেই টাকাটার খোঁজখবর নেওয়ার দায়িত্ব, নৈতিক দায়িত্ব সংসদের। সেখানে তাকে অবশ্যই দেখতে হবে তার উপজেলায় বা ইউনিয়ন পর্যায়ে যে টাকাটা বরাদ্দ করা হয়েছে সেটি সঠিক ব্যয় করছে কিনা। সেখানে এমপিদের একটা অন্যতম দায়িত্ব হতে হবে। আমার এমপি ভাই যিনি দাঁড়িয়েছেন ওনাকে অনুরোধ করব, ইট ইজ ইউর ফান্ডামেন্টাল রাইট এন্ড ডিউটি যে আপনি যে টাকাটা বরাদ্দ দিবেন বাজেট থেকে সেই টাকাটা সঠিকভাবে ব্যয় হচ্ছে কিনা এটাকে আপনাকে নিশ্চিত করতে হবে। কারণ টাকাটা আসবে ন্যাশনাল বাজেট থেকে, বাই রেভিনিউ, বাই ট্যাক্সেশন, কিন্তু স্থানীয় সরকার চলবে অ্যাজ ইউ আর্ন। স্থানীয় সরকার চলবে অ্যাজ ইউ আর্ন, যেটা আপনি আয় করবেন সেটা ব্যয় করবেন। সেখান থেকে সেন্ট্রাল গভর্নমেন্ট থেকে সাবসিডি পাওয়ার কথা না স্থানীয় সরকারগুলোকে। এই সিস্টেমটাকে আপনারা কার্যকরী করবেন কিনা এটাই আমার বিনীত প্রশ্ন। ধন্যবাদ।
Thank you for your question. You raised two vital issues. One is empowering politicians to oversee whether the bureaucrats and local governments, they are running properly and not doing corruptions. And secondly, oversee in micro level, the MPs, the duties of the MPs, how to ensure corruption-free services and ensure that the allocation of budgets that are materialized and utilized for the people. I think the first question you asked, if we have a sustainable and accountable system, that will reduce definitely the level of corruption. Secondly, the elected members of the parliament, the representative of the government, people, if they are empowered to oversee whether corruption is occurring or whether accountability is there in place, that will also ensure the corruption is reducing. However, it also needs corruption-free politicians is in place. If we elect corrupt people or corrupt politicians as our leader, MPs, and then we expect from them that they will oversee and reduce the corruption, that will not happen. So we need a sustainable system to oversee and reduce the level of corruption. At the same time, we need honest leaders. Secondly, I think there should be decentralization of power. As I mentioned in my panel discussion, we have a system for last 15 years, or I think more than that, that the MPs, they are like local lords. They oversee everything. The budgets are allocated through them. And because of that centralization of power that has been constitutionalized in the 15th Amendment, the Prime Minister and the MPs, they are given so much power that make them absolute corrupt. I think we should have a shift and we should have a balance of power. Local governments, they should have some responsibilities. As one of our distinguished guests mentioned, the local chairmen, they don't write ACR of the local government. That is not a good practice. I think the local governments, they should be given more responsibilities and they should be empowered. At the same time, the representative of the people, they should have some sort of responsibility to oversee whether the bureaucrats and the local governments, whether they are functioning properly, and accountability should be there. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Dr. Hafiz Abdur Rahman. I'm a professor of electrical and computer engineering at North-South University. I have a question especially related to the science and technology. As we know, we are a country relying mostly on remittance and labor-oriented economy. To move forward and to develop this country, the role of science and technology is essential. Basically, presently our per capita income is like $3,000 per year. But unless we move to the research and innovation-based economy or country, we cannot go to the level of like $10,000 per year income status. So what is your vision? Because I haven't seen anyone of the panelists came from the science or engineering background. So it could be a general question Yes, I saw the lady there, but she's talking about women empowerment, not related to science and technology. So as such, my question is, what is your vision? Because this is a time when world is evolving too fast in technology and science-driven economy and system. So how you see to encourage or integrate science and technology in coming days, Bangladesh?
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you for raising it. Just small point. I'm an electrical engineer by training. So anyway, issue is we have developed a policy paper on education and training separately. But I fully agree with you. Without science, technology, and language skill, we cannot really transform our country into a really productive as well as a productive economy. So you will see in our policy paper on education, you will see we are giving utmost importance even in the primary education, secondary education on STEM courses, science, technology, engineering, math subjects, plus English language. That will be the emphasis for whole secondary education. At the same time, we will be proposing to modify, reform our undergraduate programs more and more on professional degrees, which are, through our education system, we like to create skilled manpower that have marketable skill, that means within Bangladesh and outside Bangladesh. So we'll give utmost importance on science and technology, and that will be the focus for our education reform program. Thank you for bringing it. STEM is the way of life, plus language. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm from here, Eastern Corner.
Thank you so much. We will have to end the question and answer session.
Okay. I'm Kamruzzaman from TRT World, Turkish television channel. May I ask the question?
Yes,
very
please.
briefly.
Probably the last one for this session.
Okay,
yes,
okay.
Please.
I'm asking. Thank you so much. Actually, we saw an authoritarian regime of nearly 17 years, and that regime was dethroned. And at that time, Jamaat-e-Islami was cornered hugely, and the main blame placed by the ousted government was that this is a radical political party. And even most of the top leaders of Jamaat-e-Islami were hanged. And now the top leaders of Awami League, mostly they are from in different countries, and they have laundered huge money. They're using that money in appointing lobbyists to build up that narrative according to some reports or information. So what's the preparation of Jamaat? Because still, if there is information or there is propaganda that Jamaat is a radical Islamist party, so how can you address this issue before the upcoming national election? Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll just summary. Mr. Amir of Jamaat-e-Islami explained his vision for the country. The vision is, and also in my presentation I clearly mentioned that this is a republic. We have 180 million people of different strata of life. So we like to have we are proposing a development strategy for all, and we said that the good governance is the number one. We'll invest so that everybody, the poverty is eradicated as soon as possible, and this will be every citizen of Bangladesh, irrespective of their ethnicity, irrespective of religion, irrespective of any other segregation whatever it is, we like to give everybody equal opportunity so that at the same time we are saying that we will be investing so that the economic growth is there, so that every citizen can participate in that growth and have a dignified life. You see, so it's radical in the sense that we are talking about everybody. So there is no reason to think that our policies will be for a particular group. It will be a development strategy for all citizens, spread throughout the country, irrespective of religion, caste, faith, or any other thing. And unity will be the stone of development. We would like to have a unified country, agree on prosperity, democracy, and dignity. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Everybody,
very much.
thank you very much.
Thank you. Can we ask and humbly request Dr. Debopriyo Bhattacharya to add his valuable remarks in this session? Please.
তাই তো এখন তো দেবপ্রিয় ওনাকে বলতে বলছে না শেষ এখানে
Yes. Can we have his remarks to this session? Thank you.
So, okay, I think let's finish this session, okay? Okay, thank you very much. Are you? Oh.
Good morning. I speak in English.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
good morning. Let me compliment you and your colleagues for that fine presentation and providing this governance framework. I have followed it with great interest. But having done these things over the years in Bangladesh, I have had these two particular issues with this. What is now important is not so much identifying the aspiration, but to talk about the delivery mechanism. Because most of us will agree on all the lofty ideas which has been put forward. We have a national consensus on that. But the challenge is to distinguish itself on the delivery of these issues. One of the important part, of course, is the reform, the structural issues, which the incomplete reforms we have till now, how you are going to continue with them in the future, the continuity and predictability of the reform process, this is one. The other part is that all these programs usually come from the demand side. What we don't see as an economist, the supply side, and the supply side are the resources. So how much all these things are going to cost? The costing becomes a major issue. And how do you face it given the very low fiscal space of the country and the indebtedness situation as it stands? So my humble question is that, do you have a delivery plan? And do you know how much it is going to cost you?
Yes.
All these things which you have just promised this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think this will be nice transition from my framework to next presentation where you will see the cost issue. And I fully agree that we have very weak institution to deliver. That has to be across the board. We need to improve institutional capacity. But the cost of each program within the limited macro situation, I think Professor Wasil Karim will give some numbers in the next presentation. Thank you very much. But I fully agree with you. That's what we have seen over the years. Ideas are there, but we need to implement them, deliver them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. With that, we will end this excellent, lively interaction with our audience. Can we have the closing remarks?
No, thank you.
No. So we are going to go to a tea break, which will start from now and end at 11:05 a.m. Then we will go on to the next session, session 2, promoting prosperity, economy, business, and investment. The third session should be youth employment policy to delivery. The fourth session would be delivering on equity, women, and in action. The fifth one shall be education for the future, policy for change. And the last one shall be health matters, policy for transformation. The second session, as we said, would begin from 11:05 a.m. Till then, we are going to enjoy a short tea break. Thank you.
challenges are many. We know the stories of falling behind. We know the burdens that sometimes weigh us down. Yet, with hope, we rise. With hope, we come together. Today, we unite to share a story of dreams, to tell the story of an aspiring Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a land of rivers, where life flows with courage, patience, and hope. From villages shaped by soil and sweat to cities built on dreams and determination, this nation moves forward one step at a time. But progress demands courage. It demands a stand against corruption and extortion. It demands the light of good governance and the strength to rise above fascism.